And we're live. Greetings, friends. Happy Sunday. On Sundays, we Sinister, where we discuss the strange, the unnatural, the mysterious, and the unknown. J-Lash with a thumbs up. Appreciate you, friend. Thanks for being here early. I always know I'm going to have an excellent stream if J-Lash is in the chat with his thumbs ups. Thumbs up to J-Lash. Appreciate you, friend. Tonight, we're going to be discussing the case against Sean P. Diddy Combs. Trying something new, trying something current. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what kind of views it gets. 3 viewers in the chat. Appreciate you being here, friends. And usually I have a slideshow that's related, but tonight, Red2 says hi. Greetings, Red2. But tonight, we're going to show a slideshow of Eyes Wide Shut. What's that about? Because he was kind of having Eyes Wide Shut type parties, and at some point during Cinema Saturdays, we will probably do a discussion of Eyes Wide Shut. So let's see how that goes. Tonight, we shall be investigating Sean Combs's Wikipedia page, and I will also be reading the press release from the United States Attorney's Office, the Southern District of New York. See how that goes. Let's get started. Sean Love Combs. His middle name is Love, really? No, born Sean John Combs. Okay. 1969. In case you didn't know, also known by his stage name Diddy, formerly Puff Daddy, and P. Diddy, is an American rapper, record producer, and record executive. He is credited with the discovery and cultivation of artists such as the Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige, and Usher. Combs has won 3 Grammy Awards, 2 MTV Video Music Awards, an MTV VMA Global Icon Award in 2023, and a Guinness World Record for the most successful rap producer in 1997. So yeah, he's very successful, but it's become problematic. The Russians had a phrase called honey trapping during the honey trap during the Cold War. The KGB would film enemy agents, U.S. agents, in compromising positions. Like in a hotel with a hooker, with a Russian hooker, and get them to switch sides or reveal state secrets or something. Anyways, it was called a honey trap. There's no reason to suppose that the CIA wasn't doing it as well. Harvey Weinstein was doing something similar to advance his career, and Epstein was doing it for political power, and it looks like P. Diddy was doing it as well to advance his career and to amass power. I do think that at some point in your life, not speaking from experience, of course, when you're so successful and you can buy anything you want, you can do anything you want, when no one is ever going to say no to you and nothing is out of your reach, you stop wanting the typical things like another car or a woman or or another house or in Nicolas Cage's case a life-size T-Rex skull. And you just start craving power, because that's the one thing that you cannot, that's the one hole that you cannot ever fill. And as you know, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And so I do think that these guys, apart from being degenerates, all follow that corruptible pattern of craving power. But I digress. Sean John Combs was born in November in the Harlem neighborhood of New York City. He was born in Harlem. But I wanted to go, I mean, pretty much everybody knows about him. So I just wanted to move on to his legal troubles. He was married to J-Lo. He's got a bunch of kids. Legal issues. In 1997, Combs was sued by landlord neglect by Inga Bongo. Combs denied the charges. On April 15th, 1999, shortly after the music video for Nas's Hate Me Now aired on MTV, featuring Combs being crucified. He had a Jesus complex even back then. He and two others burst into Nas's former manager's Steve Stout's office and attacked him. Stout sued Combs in June 1999, resulting in Combs paying him an out-of-court settlement for $500,000. ODOG, greetings, friend. Appreciate you being here. You can help keep these unruly bastards in check. Hope you're having a good weekend, ODOG. Originally charged with assault for the event, Combs pled guilty to a charge of harassment and was sentenced to spend 1 day in an anger management class. In December 1999, Combs, with his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez and his protege rapper Shine, were at Club New York in Times Square in Manhattan when gunfire broke out. That's a very delicate way to say he was involved in a shooting. Gunfire broke out, officer. There's nothing to do with the gun that's right beside me. A prosecutor said the incident was sparked by an argument at the club between Combs and another patron. After a police investigation, Combs and Shine were arrested for weapons violations and other charges. Odak says, my aunt passed away yesterday, so I'll be in and out, hit or miss. So I appreciate you checking in, Odak, and my condolences. I'm sorry to hear that, friend. You just take care of yourself, and I'm always happy to I'm always happy to see you, and I appreciate you. Did you notice that Serena uploaded a video? What's that about? So she's feeling maybe a little better, but I was glad to have her back online. Combs was charged with 4 weapons-related charges and with bribing his driver, Wardell Fenderson, to claim ownership of his gun. With a gag order in place, the highly publicized trial began. Combs' attorneys were Johnny Cochran and Benjamin Bratman. Johnny Cochran, I'm sure you know from the O.J. trial. Combs was found not guilty on all charges. Shine was convicted on 5 of his 8 charges and sentenced to 10 years in prison. Combs and Lopez broke up shortly after. A lawsuit filed by Fenderson, who said he suffered emotional damage after the shooting, was settled in February 2004. Lawyers for both sides, having agreed to keep the settlement terms secret, said that the matter had been resolved to the satisfaction of all parties. So he paid him off. And kept everything quiet. Hush money. In 2001, he was arrested for driving with a suspended license in Florida. In 2003, the National Labor Committee revealed that the factories producing the Sean John clothing brand in Honduras were violating Honduran labor laws. Among the accusations were that workers were subjected to body searches and involuntary pregnancy tests. Bathrooms were locked and access tightly controlled. Employees were forced to work overtime and were paid sweatshop wages. Charles Kernaghan of the National Labor Committee told the New York Times that Sean Puff Daddy obviously has a lot of clout. He can literally do a lot overnight to help these workers. Combs responded with an extensive investigation, telling reporters, I'm as pro-workers as they get. On February 2004, Kernaghan announced that improvements had been implemented at the factory, including adding air conditioning and water purification systems, firing the most abusive supervisors, and allowing the formation of a labor union. Also in 2003, Kim Burrows sued Combs, claiming that he had forced him to give up his shares in Bad Boy Records through threats of violence. In 2006, the case was dismissed because the statute of limitations had expired. A lot of smoke around here. Where's the fire? But then again, any successful corporation or person, I'm sure, has all these like nuisance lawsuits hovering around them. Just people just wanting a piece of the money, piece of the pie. In November 2005, London-based musical artist and DJ Richard Dearlove, who had been performing under the name Diddy since 1992, 9 years before Combs started using P. Diddy, sought an injunction in the High Court of Justice in London. He accepted an out-of-court settlement of £10,000 in damages and more than £100,000 in costs. Combs can no longer use the name Diddy in the UK, where he is still known as P. Diddy. An assault charge against Combs, filed by Michigan television host Rogelio Mills, was resolved in Combs' favor in 2005. Sounds like he has an anger problem. In August 2007, Gerald Reichnitzer sued Combs for battery after claiming Combs had punched him outside a Hollywood nightclub. Reichnitzer claimed he was attacked after he approached Combs while the rap mogul was talking to his girlfriend. Combs settled the lawsuit for undisclosed terms in March 2008. O-Dog says, Shimada. Never been a fan of him. We haven't even gotten the good part, or, well, the most salacious parts. O-Dog. We're still in 2008. In March 2008, the LA Times claimed that the notorious B.I.G. and Combs orchestrated the 1994 robbery and shooting of Tupac. Let that sink in. Substantiating the claim with supposed FBI documents, the newspaper later retracted the story, acknowledging that the documents had been fabricated. Dexter Isaac, an associate of record management executive Jimmy Henchman, interesting name, confessed in 2012 that he had shot Tupac on Henchman's orders. Sounds like a cover-up. In June 2015, Combs was arrested again for aggravated assault after an altercation with his son's football coach at the University of California, Los Angeles. The assault charges were dropped due to lack of evidence. I didn't see anything. Here's $50,000. What did you see? I didn't see nothing, officer. I don't know if that happened. I apologize. That's purely inference on my part. But it's what I would do if I had unlimited cash and an anger management problem. In June 2023, Combs filed a racial discrimination lawsuit against Diageo, claiming that the spirits company deliberately kneecapped the marketing and sales of his Ciroc vodka and De Leon tequila labels. In January 2024, Combs voluntarily withdrew the lawsuit with prejudice and also severed the business relationship. What's that mean, with prejudice? A legal term, no, it's a bunch of legalese. But let's look that up. Let's go in depth. A dismissal with prejudice forbids a party to refile the case and might occur because of misconduct on the part of the party. Okay. On March 4, 2024, music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones, who was already suing Combs for sexual assault, filed a lawsuit against Combs and his son Justin, alleging they engaged in a massive cover-up of their involvement in the shooting of a 30-year-old man at a writers and producers camp that was held at Combs' Chalice recording studio in Los Angeles in September 2022. On March 25, 2024, former Syracuse University basketball player and Combs associate Brendan Paul was arrested at the Opa-locka Airport in Miami-Dade County, Florida, on 2 charges of cocaine and controlled substance possession. He was released the next day after posting a $2,500 bond. That's nothing. Lil Rod has accused Paul of being Combs's drug mule in court documents. Moving on to the sexual misconduct and allegations and lawsuits, what you are all here for. In May 2017, Cindy Ruella, who previously served as Combs's personal chef, filed a lawsuit against Combs in the LA County Superior Court, claiming, amongst other things, sexual harassment and retaliation. The lawsuit was settled for an undisclosed amount in February 2019, so he paid off his personal chef. In November 16th, 2023, Cassie Ventura, no relation to Ace, with whom Combs had had a long-term relationship, filed a lawsuit against him. I shouldn't have made that joke. I apologize. Accusing him of rhymes with paper, sex trafficking, and physical abuse. The lawsuit also suggested that Combs was responsible for blowing up Ventura's then boyfriend's Kid Cudi's car. Combs and Ventura reached an undisclosed settlement the following day, and the lawsuit was dismissed, so paid her off as well. In May 2024, CNN released surveillance footage of Combs physically assaulting Ventura at the Intercontinental Hotel in Century City, Los Angeles. This incident was among the allegations made in the lawsuit. I have seen that security footage. It's horrifying. She runs out into the hotel lobby, and is waiting for the elevator. He comes storming out from around the corner with a towel around his waist and knocks her to the ground and starts kicking her. It's horrible. And she just curls up. And the way that she reacts, just makes you, her body language, it seems like she was used to it. I mean, this is what you do when you're being attacked by your boyfriend, I guess. It was very disheartening to watch. And even if I had access to the footage, I wouldn't show it on this channel. You don't need to see it, and I am diminished because I saw it. In May 2024, Combs issued a video apology on Instagram and Facebook, stating that he was truly sorry and that his actions were inexcusable. I bet his lawyers made him do that. Combs' assault of Ventura was stopped by the hotel staff, after which Combs allegedly tried to bribe the staff. Of course he did, according to a federal indictment in September 2024. In November 2023, 2 further lawsuits were filed against Combs by 2 additional complaints alleging sexual assault and revenge rhymes with corn. One of the lawsuits claimed that in 1990 or 91, he and Aaron Hall had sexually abused a woman, with Combs recording the incident. In December of 2023, a lawsuit was filed in Manhattan District Court by a woman alleging that Combs rhymes with paper in 2003 when she was 17 years old. That same day, Combs posted a response via social media denying the allegations. In February 2024, a 5th lawsuit was brought against Combs when he was sued by music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones. The case alleges that Combs drugged and then sexually assaulted Jones and also forced him to have sex with sex workers. A lawyer for Combs described the allegations as pure fiction. Of course you would. What are you going to say? You have to deny it. Combs' adult son, Justin, and his chief of staff, Christina Coram, Universal Music Group CEO Sir Lucian Grange, and former Motown Records CEO Ethiopia Habter Mariam were also named as defendants in Jones's lawsuit. In March 2024, the plaintiffs who sued Combs for the 2003 incident was ordered to disclose her identity. In May 2024, Universal Music Group and CEO Lucian Grange were removed from the lawsuit after Jones's lawyer Tyrone Blackburn asked that they be dismissed immediately and with prejudice. In March 2024, properties tied to Combs in Los Angeles, New York, and Miami were raided by the Department of Homeland Security using a Southern District of New York search warrant related to an unspecified ongoing investigation. The BBC reported that the federal agents seized computers and other electronic devices. I bet they used the Homeland Security because it was we were crossing state lines, and they didn't want to involve local police. And also, maybe the local maybe Diddy had ties with the local police. The Miami Herald reported that federal agents questioned Combs at the Opa-locka airport. Opa-locka. I just like saying that. On March 25, the agents confiscated a number of electronic devices, phones, and cleared him to leave for a planned vacation to Antigua and Barbuda. Coincidentally, Antigua and Barbuda have no extradition treaties. I don't know that for a fact. Please don't quote me on that. I'm just making this up. ODOG can't stand Aaron Hall either. In March 2024, documents obtained by USA Today stated that Lil Rod, who amended his lawsuit on March 26, accused Combs of paying to keep sex workers. Actor Cuba Gooding Jr. was also named as a lawsuit co-defendant. The lawsuit implied that Prince Harry and other famous figures were associated with Combs to draw guests to his parties, but were not accused of any wrongdoing. That Prince Harry sure got around. He certainly enjoyed his parties. I'm so glad his mother's not with us anymore to be embarrassed by him. In April 2024, Combs and his son Christian were named as defendants in a lawsuit where a former employee, Grace O'Marquet, alleged that Christian sexually assaulted her in December of 2022 while she was employed as a steward on a yacht chartered by Combs. O'Marquet accused Christian of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and infliction of emotional distress. Sean Combs was included in the lawsuit, which alleged that he had aided and abetted his son in the assault, paid to cover it up afterward, and had premises liability for chartering the yacht where the alleged sexual assault took place. Christian Combs not acting very Christian. May 2024, Combs was named as the defendant by a former New York Fashion Institute of Technology student, April Lampros, accusing Combs of 4 instances of sexual assault from the mid-1990s to the early 2000s. The suit further accuses Combs of assault, battery, negligent infliction of emotional distress, and violation of the Victim of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Law. Mama One says, hey gang, everyone say hi to Mama One and Papa One. Greetings, Mama One, Papa One. On Sundays, we Sinister, and we are discussing the allegations against Sean P. Diddy Combs, which is, and it's not just a racial thing, but it's reminding me more and more of Bill Cosby. It's interesting, but obviously it reminds me of Epstein and Weinstein. Michigan inmate Derek Lee Cardillo Smith filed a lawsuit against Combs in June 2024, claiming that Combs sexually assaulted him, resulting in a $100 million default judgment after Combs failed to appear for a virtual hearing. Combs has since moved to have the judgment halted, denying the claims while saying that he was never informed of the virtual hearing. a likely story. In July 2024, Combs was sued by former adult actress Adria English, claiming that he had sex trafficked her by coercing her into sex work with guests at his Labor Day white parties. In September 2024, former Bad Boy artist Don Richard filed a lawsuit against Combs for sexual abuse. In September 2024, Combs was arrested by U.S. Homeland Security investigators in Manhattan after he was indicted by a grand jury. He is charged with sex trafficking and racketeering. During his first court appearance in Manhattan Federal Courthouse in September 17th, 2024, Combs pled not guilty. Of course, you plead not guilty. During this court appearance, U.S. Magistrate Judge Robin Tarnowski denied Combs bail and ordered him to remain in jail. His attorneys offered a $50 million bond, but on September 18th, a second judge, Andrew L. Carter Jr., also denied bail, as he is concerned about potential witnesses being threatened and or intimidated. Combs is detained in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. At the time of his September 2024 arrest, the Washington Post reported that the abuse allegations against Combs dated back as far as 2008. Industry and company responses. In November 2023, Macy's announced that they were pulling all Sean John clothing from their department and online stores and effectively ending their relationship with Combs. 4 days later, Combs stepped down as chairman of Revolt TV. Suri, Nudie Systems, Valuba, and House of Takura all ended their affiliations with Combs' e-commerce business, Empower Global. Hulu canceled production for a planned reality series that centered on Combs and his family. During a live performance in November 2023, Keisha changed the opening lyric of her 2009 hit TikTok from wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy to wake up in the morning feeling like just me. She has also stated in interviews that she plans to permanently perform the Coachella version of the lyrics going forward, and has encouraged fans to learn this version of the song in order to sing along at concerts. April 2024, Combs' radio airplay and streaming figures decreased by 88%. Wow. In June of 2024, Howard University announced that it was revoking Combs' honorary doctorate. They also returned his $1 million donation and terminated his pledge agreement. 9 days later, New York City Mayor Eric Adams rescinded Combs' key to the city, which he had awarded in September 2023. We're taking our key back. And in June 2024, the offices of Miami-Dade County District Attorney Catherine Fernandez Rundle revoked Sean Diddy Combs Day, a citywide holiday in Miami Beach, Florida, inaugurated in his honor on October 13th, 2016. Now that, my friends, is a fall. And I wanted to read you the Southern District of New York's press release from September 17th. Sean Combs charged in Manhattan federal court with sex trafficking and other federal offenses. Alleged conduct occurred over more than a decade in multiple states. Damian Williams, the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, and William S. Walker, the acting special agent in charge of the New York Field Office of Homeland Security investigations, announced that Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, also known as P. Diddy, also known as PD, also known as Love, was arrested last night and charged in a 3-count indictment with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The indictment unsealed today alleges that between 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced women and others, and led a racketeering conspiracy that engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice, among other crimes. Combs is expected to be presented in Manhattan Federal Court this afternoon before Magistrate Judge Robin F. Tarnowski. I want to mention that they always, with Epstein and Weinstein, and now with P. Diddy, they will focus on the specific crimes, but they will not touch or even mention the fact that he hosted celebrity parties where he used these sex workers to entice famous people, and presumably filmed them and used the film as incentive and blackmail, and they will not to further his career, and they will not ever release those tapes or tell about who was at those parties. That's not the scope of the law, or of the charge or the mandate. And you wonder why they don't release the Epstein list and why they never release all the videos, is because that, now the state has them, the CIA has them, and now the CIA or the state or whoever has leverage against all those people that were involved. So it's not like justice is served in the sense that, this person has stopped acting this way, but, how many others are doing this? I mean, this seems to be like a very popular strategy once you achieve a certain level of power, and of course are a degenerate. Anyways, let me continue. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said, as alleged in the indictment, for years, Sean Combs used the business empire he controlled to sexually abuse and exploit women, as well as to commit other acts of violence and obstruction of justice. Today he is charged with racketeering and sex trafficking offenses. If you have been a victim of Combs' alleged abuse, or if you know anything about his alleged crimes, we urge you to come forward. This investigation is far from over. Homeland Security Investigator, Acting Special Agent in Charge, that is an acronym, William S. Walker said today, we shatter any false notion of impunity as we uncover the defendant's alleged pattern of manipulation, exploitation, and outright abuse. Make no mistake, we are here today only because of the unwavering strength of the victims and witnesses who have already endured unspeakable hardships. I commend them for their courage and urge anyone who believes they are a victim of sex trafficking to contact Homeland Security by email at sextrafficking@hsi.dhs.gov or via our mobile tip line 1-877-4-HSITIP. According to the indictment unsealed today, from at least 2008 to the present, Combs led a criminal enterprise that existed to facilitate his abuse and exploitation of women, to protect his reputation, and to conceal his conduct, and also to advance his career, and his empire. As part of that criminal enterprise, Combs, along with other members and associates of the enterprise, committed crimes including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Among other things, Combs' sexual abuse of women included causing them to engage in frequent, days-long sexual activity with male commercial sex workers, some of whom were transported over state lines. These events, which Combs referred to as, quote, freak-offs, were elaborate sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, and often electronically recorded. It's reminding me of like the Roman Empire, the last days of the Roman Empire, and how the Caesars acted in their private life, and it's reminding me a lot of Caligula, and it says a lot about the time that we live in. To ensure participation in freak-offs, Combs used violence and intimidation and leveraged his power over victims, power he obtained through obtaining and distributing narcotics to them, exploiting his financial support to them, and threatening to cut off the same and controlling their careers. Combs also threatened his victims, including by threatening to expose the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of freak-offs if the women did not comply with his demands. Combs's effort to control women included repeated physical abuse. Combs assaulted women by, among other things, striking, punching, dragging, throwing objects at them, and kicking them. Combs similarly assaulted witnesses to his abuse. These assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. To commit these crimes, Combs relied on his power as a leader of a multifaceted business empire. Employees of Combs's businesses, including high-ranking supervisors, security staff, personal assistants, and household staffs, acted as Combs's intermediaries to, among other things, arrange travel and hotel rooms, stock the hotel rooms for Combs's commercial sex activity, contact or locate women or other individuals whom he targeted for abuse, and conceal and cover up the abuse. This criminal concealment included efforts to prevent law enforcement from learning about the abuse. Combs, 54, of Miami, Florida, is charged with one count of racketeering conspiracy, which carries a maximum sentence of life in prison, one count of sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, which carries a maximum sentence of life in prison and a mandatory minimum sentence of 15 years in prison, and one count of transportation for purposes of prostitution, which carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. So, at least he didn't kill anyone so far. That's the only good thing. And it looks like his career is over and he's going away for life. The statutory maximum and mandatory penalties are prescribed by Congress and provided here for informational purposes only, as any sentencing of the defendant will be determined by the judge. Mr. Williams praised the outstanding investigative work of the HSI and Southern District of New York Special Agents Digital Forensic Unit, and the complex analytical and social media enhancement team at the New York, New Jersey high-intensity drug trafficking area. The case is being handled by the office's Civil Rights Unit in the Criminal Division, Assistant U.S. Attorneys Meredith Foster, Emily A. Johnson, Christy Slavic, Madison Reddick Smither, and Mitzi Steiner. And just anecdotally, all these assistant U.S. attorneys are female. What's that about? The charges contained in the indictment are merely accusations. The defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. That's the last sentence. Yeah, he's presumed innocent. You have a presumption of innocent, but still, I mean, this has been happening since basically 1999. Odak says, won't shed a tear for him. And we're doing a slideshow of Eyes Wide Shut just because I didn't want to celebrate P. Diddy. And I didn't want to look at a slideshow of him and, J-Lo. That just didn't sound interesting to me. So we do Eyes Wide Shut. And then at some point, we'll do an Eyes Wide Shut review. How's everyone? How is your Sunday? Trent, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Odog, thank you for taking care of that. And that, most trolls are just like telling jokes that don't land properly. Humor is subjective, and, I try to be a free speech advocate, but, you got to be careful what you say. You're only allowed to have one opinion on YouTube, but I appreciate you being here. You couldn't have commented unless you're subscribed. And thank you for subscribing. Mama One and Papa One are here. Papa One says, I was happy to be born in the era I was. I feel sorry for younger kids these days. Yeah, I agree with you. But they have a whole library of, of decades of music and TV to look and movies to look back on. You don't have to pay attention to modern music and most modern music these days is just so over manufactured and auto-tuned, and just curated until the soul is out, and it's just this soulless, clickbaity vehicle to sell whatever they're trying to sell. Odog says she's chilling. Yes, she's tired. She had a long day. She was very social, very busy. She got 3 walks. What's that about? And she's ready for bed. She's Canadian. She's French Canadian. And her channel is One Woman's Wilderness. And she lives up north. I just, northeast of Canada. And she's got a cabin, but she's been traveling now. But she used to have 2 dogs. One of them died. She has a German Shepherd. And she just makes these very relaxing homesteader and nature videos. And anyways, she it was B-roll, I'm sure, but she was showing a lake and some flying geese that were honking. And this one had never seen or heard of geese before, and she was fascinated. That honking geese spoke to something deep in her soul, which was nice to see. And she was paying attention to the TV. What's that noise? What's that? So I don't know. I don't even know where we could get geese. I'd like to get her a geese something. Maybe I could get her some goose liver pate. I think that's illegal now, but I'd like her to try some geese. Mama One says, we are having an event for charity tomorrow, so I'm making extra geese. The charity is for therapy horses for special needs kids. They are trying to build stables so they can keep the new horses and kids safe. That sounds nice. It's good to give back. Eyes wide shut. Stanley Kubrick is one of my favorite directors, along with Alfred Hitchcock and Quentin Tarantino and maybe Jonathan Nolan. Got some potent canine bait. Serena says, hi, Antonio. Sorry I'm late. Busy with family. I thought I would say hi to everyone. Everyone say hi to Serena. Serena, I saw your video this morning. Well done. I'm glad you're back. Are you back, Serena? Is my question. How are you feeling? I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you got to see Mama One and Papa One. And Odog is here somewhere. Odog says, howdy. And Lau Auden just subscribed. Thank you, Lau Auden. Appreciate you, friend. Happy Sunday. On Sunday, we Sinister. We were talking about P. Diddy, Serena, but I'm glad you were here because Sadie's here to say hello to you and wish you a happy Sunday. Serena says, hi, Mama and Odog and Papa One. Serena, how are you feeling, my dear? Are you better? I saw you put a video up. Are you going to start putting videos up again? Because everyone missed you. Papa One says, Serena, always a pleasure to see you. Hope you're doing okay. We always be sure to pray for our online family. You all don't know how much joy these live streams bring us. Well, I'm happy to be here for you, Papa One, and I know Sadie is as well. Serena says, yes, I saw your comment. Thank you for watching my video. I watched your video and I dropped a like. And guess you know who else watched your video, Serena? Star Hearts? This one. She was right by my side. Technically, she watches all my videos. But you know, it's funny when I don't do it anymore. But when I would leave, when you know, like when she was little, and you know, and she had anxiety when I would leave to like go to the grocery store or whatever, I would put on a playlist. I would put on the full game commentary playlist, and you know, and just let it run so she could hear my voice. And I don't know if that helped, but it was pretty funny. Serena says, give Sadie some potent canine bait. She is withering away. LOL. Yeah, it's like, that's what she says. And Serena says, was strange playing. Been a while playing. Was fun. I get dizzy playing, but happy to upload for everyone. Yeah, well, I'm glad you're back. Serena says, hi, Sadie, beautiful girl. See, Serena said hi to you. Say hi back. Say hi back. She's focused on the potent canine bait jar. But and she's had enough of the live stream. She's showing her disapproval for P. Diddy. Mama One says, Super Antonio would be willing to spell out your email for me. I'm going to write it down so I can contact you all. It is red. Wait, I don't know. What is it? I have to look it up now. It is red superantonio at gmail.com, all lowercase. My Twitter is Red Dead Super Antonio. But Red Super Antonio is because I made the account when my mom was it's not funny, but my mom was very sick and kind of dying, and I didn't want to put dead in my email address, but I had to make a business email for for the channel, and my mom was dying, and I didn't want to put Red Dead Super Antonio, so I just put Red Super Antonio. Glennis Coleman, channel member Glennis Coleman says, hello everyone. Greetings, Glennis. Happy Sunday. We were talking about P. Diddy for Sinister Sundays, and now we're just kind of hanging out. Serena says, I'm still going to take it easy, probably just upload when I can. Next, be Red Dead 2. I missed it. Also, you can find my an email link to the channel. Where is it? It's if you go to my channel, okay, yeah, you go to my channel and then there's like a link for more. It says Super Antonio, 18K subscribers. Thank you, friends. Red Dead Redemption 2 tutorials, gameplay, walkthroughs, and commentaries, ... and more. If you click on the more, under channel details at the bottom, it says view email address. And then if you click on that, oh, actually it is Red Dead Super Antonio. Oh, I think maybe Twitter was Red Super Antonio. Okay, strike what I said, Mama One. It is Red Dead Super Antonio. Red Dead Super Antonio at gmail.com. So it's Red, RED. So Red Dead Super Antonio. All one word, all lowercase. Mama One is no, that's not any inconvenience at all. I'm happy to answer any question I can, especially the easy ones, and that is an easy question. Papa One says, "Hi, Glennis. Hope you are well." Serena says, "I'm getting better, recovering. Still have to rest and take it easy." You take it easy as long as you can, Serena, because you have to get better. We need you in the channel. Mama One says, "Hey, Glennis," and Glennis says, "Hey, Papa and Mama. I'm doing well, just busy." Glennis says, "Glad to hear it, Serena." And Mama One says, "Okay, thank you so much." Thank you so much, Mama One. Odog, are you still here? Yeah, Odog says, "Hi, Glenn." I have been watching a show called Elementary, which is a modern version, modern retelling of Sherlock Holmes. It's set in New York. It's from like 2010-ish. It's available on Amazon Prime, but they changed. So it's like Johnny Lee Miller, who's an English actor who is I knew him from like the 90s, and he was married to Angelina Jolie for a minute. Is Sherlock, and Lucy Liu, who I've loved since the 90s, is Watson. And she's super cute. I mean, I've always loved Lucy Liu, and I was talking to a friend who asked if I could, if I was offered the choice, like, you're going to offer me this choice of Scarlett versus Lucy Liu, I would go with Lucy Liu 100% of the time, just because my parents would approve, my mom would approve. My dear old sainted dead mom. Anyways, she plays Watson. And, normally I'd be really upset about gender swaps and race swaps, but I will make an exception for Lucy Liu because I love her so much. So anyways, I was watching last night, just thoroughly charmed by Lucy Liu. And Sadie has her head on my lap, and she's watching along as well. And so I looked down at her and said, "I could have named you Watson." And then I looked at her and said, "Except you're not smart." And I started laughing at her, which was very mean. And I apologized. And I said to her that she is smart. It's not true. You're very smart. You're a smarty pants. But I thought that was funny. And I'm sure, Odog, you might have a similar affection towards Lucy Liu as well. Glennis says, "How are you, Super Antonio?" I am quite well, thank you, Glennis. Appreciate you being here. Just kind of wondering what direction to take the channel in. We're not really pulling the views in anymore, regrettably. And we've got to do something new. We got to do something different. I'm not sure what that is. However, for October and for for Halloween and birthdays and stuff, we're going to do an Undead Nightmare live stream. Like, all live streams for October are going to be Undead Nightmare related. And Odog says, "That's a Michigan girl, of course. She's an alum." I didn't know she was from Michigan, Odog. Wow. Mama One says, "Will we be having movie nights again?" Yes, of course. I love doing the movie nights. But everything Red Dead related is going to be Undead Nightmare related. And hopefully we can get some shorts out of like our gameplay. But we'll figure it out. Mama One says, "I think you should do horror movie nights." Yes, I do too, especially for Halloween. I was I've recently rewatched all of the Universal horror movies except for Frankenstein. They're all related on. They're all available on Amazon, and they're fun to watch. They're just so. They're all of them are like barely an hour long. They're like 62, 72 minutes, and they're just so almost wholesome, very naive compared to like modern horror movies, and just very. The acting is very stylistic and expressive. It's basically, it's a silent, it's like, especially the ones in 1930, they're basically silent movies with talking. It's just very broad gestures, very, lots of close-ups where there's no talking at all, and no music as well. It's very strange, where they're just relying on these like silent film techniques, but they've also added some dialogue. Serena says, Antonio, are you playing Undead Nightmare on Halloween? Yes, Serena, I am. You should do a playthrough as well. Let's see. Serena said, looking forward to Halloween on GTA Online again and Red Dead. They don't normally have a Halloween update. I hope they do. Yeah, me too. Papa One says, Glennis, I'm thankful I have my friends and my wife to help me. I'm a blessed man. You are indeed, Papa One. I praise God for my friends and family. I'm thankful that I can still manage to ride a horse. I'm slower than I used to be. But it's not about speed. It's about the adventure and the will to keep moving. Truer words were never said, Papa One, and we benefit from your vast experience and knowledge. Glennis says, amen to Papa One, and Glennis says, I just enjoy the peace and quiet in the woods on horseback, watching the wildlife. Serena says, LOL, I'd be scared to play Undead Nightmare. It's not that scary, as I recall. Ironically, I think I've done 2 playthroughs of Undead Nightmare. Mom One says, have you thought about using mods for Red Dead Redemption 2 Zombies? I've seen others use the zombie mod. I think that's a PC deal, Mama One. I don't know if we could do that on PlayStation, on console. So no, I have not really thought about it. But yeah, I think as much as I love this game, we have to go in a different direction because it's just not pulling in views. And I hate complaining about views on this channel. I'm not trying to beg for views. I just, we've got to find something that helps the channel grow so we can keep moving. Glennis says, hey, Sadie. Say hi to Glennis, will you? She's tired. Poor thing is tired. Serena says, I don't even know how to do mods. I'm on console. Yeah, we can't do mods. And it involves codes and PCs. Papa One says, ironically, I'm more at peace in the woods on my farm than I am in a secure building. It's peaceful and allows the mind to truly be free. That makes sense, the peacefulness of the woods. You're comfortable there, Papa One. Mama One says, it is PC. I thought you used PC. I'm considering buying one. I have a laptop, a PC laptop that I used for horse mods. That's about it. Serena says, Sadie looks so cute sitting there. She's gorgeous. Look how tired she is. She can't keep her eyes open. I guess that means it's time to go. I appreciate you being here, all of you. Thank you so much. In the end, all we have is our time and our time together. And I really am humbled and grateful that you would spend some of your precious time with me and with Sadie. Shout out to the mods, Odog and Papa One and Serena and David, of course, and Miko and Marco. Miko and Marco, what's that about? Channel member Glennis Coleman, thank you so much. It's great talking to all of you. We shall return forthwith Maybe on Monday. I'm not sure. Marston Mondays are, is tentative. Definitely on Wednesdays. Everyone enjoy the rest of your week. I really appreciate you having you being here. Like and subscribe.